23, the Albertine region, to acquaint ourselves with the operations going on, because lots of rumors were flying all over the place. And we noticed that a lot of care is being taken to exploit or explore the oil in the most humane manner. And when we were there, I was with my colleagues, some of them. We stated that the Kingdom of Buganda supports the exploration of oil. Because, yes, we do. It's a natural resource whose benefits we should enjoy when we still can. The world is talking about green energy these days. And we have people like Elon Musk who are making electric cars and soon probably electric aeroplanes and electric trains and all these things. And the price of oil might fall, who knows? So it is important that we exploit this resource when it is still, lucrative. And we said then, which I want to repeat now, that oil exploration the proceeds from oil exploration should go into 5 key areas. One is the protection of the environment, because in many parts of the world, especially the developing world, mineral resources become a curse, depending on how the proceeds from those resources are handled. We know countries where we've had riots and all sorts of things because of the degradation of the environment. And everybody should care about the environment of his area. So Uganda must care about the environment. And it's very important that when we get revenue, which we shall, from oil, I think our first focus should be the environment. And we've had lots of contacts with people opposed to what you're doing. And I think they were trying to enlist our support in opposing the pipeline, even the exploration of oil. And when we were in the Albertine region, we didn't see any environmental degradation. And I believe that EACOP is very mindful of the environment. If it wasn't, we would know, especially within the kingdom, because our people are all over the route that you've taken. So, yes, the environment must be number one. 2 must be economic empowerment, especially for the communities where the oil is being, it's being exploited. Is it exploited? Extracted? And the areas where the oil pipeline goes through. Economic empowerment. Because if someone is carrying out an economic activity in your area, and you don't regard yourself as benefiting in any way whatsoever, you tend to resent that activity, whatever it might be, not only oil, whatever it is. So here in Buganda, of course, 70% of the people are living off their land. They're involved in agriculture. The Kingdom of Buganda has very extensive programs on economic empowerment through agriculture and animal husbandry. I'm sure your colleagues know about Mwanterimba. Coffee, you talked about it. How I wish EACOP could come and support these initiatives, because the people then will say EACOP is not here to just get money. Of course, EACOP is in business for money. Everyone who does business is looking for profits. But then, while they are here for the profits, they're also mindful of our economic activities. Agriculture and animal husbandry are key areas. Then I'm very happy to hear about education. That was our number 3 point. And health and public infrastructure. Those were the 5 areas. And for those reasons, we support the exploration of oil, the extraction of oil, and the oil pipeline undertaken by EACOP. We ought to be key partners with you. in your activities. And I don't think in Uganda you can get a better partner than the Kingdom of Uganda. No, you can't. And I'm not saying that because I'm the Prime Minister here. I'm saying that because of the facts. You know, the numbers. We're talking about the numbers. And in your case, you go through how many districts? 7 of the Kingdom of Uganda. And I think it's only Bunyoro and Buganda. And of course, the biggest portion of the 200 kilometers is within Buganda. So, but then also, the Kingdom of Buganda is fairly organized. I'm sure you are aware of. These people know it. I don't know whether you know it. And we impact the community in many ways. So when we build a partnership, I think it doesn't only do PR. There is a lady here who is in charge of PR. I don't know who she is. Is Mr. Nsereko or somebody? The kingdom, when the kingdom is a partner with an organization or a company, generally speaking, the population within Buganda regards that group or that company, organization as part of them. That's how it works. Because of the trust the people have in the king, Kabaka is the king, and I think in us, because we associate with the king. It's for that reason. It's not a right of birth, but because we work for the king. So, I think you shouldn't be talking about corporate social responsibility. You should be talking about corporate social investment. And that's what he said. That's what my colleague here said. Corporate social responsibility is temporary. Even public relations, these are temporary things. As you operate, as you build the pipeline, you do the PR things, you do the CSR things, which is very good for that time. But if you give it good, deep thought, and a legacy program, that's what he called it. He's an economist. They're very good at those terms. He's a statistician, actually. But I think every statistician is an economist. They're good at those terms. But if you did a project which people refer to, even when all of us are retired from our jobs, I think it's good for the company. But also, as human beings, it's always good to do something good. For its sake, it is something good. If, for example, in Maogola, Zimbabwe, you build some sort of a multi-purpose, it's not very expensive in any case. It's not very expensive. A multi-purpose, some sort of sports complex. It's not going to be like Nambole. No, not that level, but something which is permanent and for which reference all the time is EACOP. I think it's very good for the company. EACOP is going to be here for a very long time and in the world. And I think it's good. And that will create a permanent partnership with the kingdom. And it will generate a lot of good for not only for you, but for all of us, because things which, you know what they say about us leaders? People forget what we say, but people never forget how we make them feel. They never forget how we make them feel. But people forget what we say. However flowery the speech might be, people are going to forget it after some time. But how it makes them feel is what they never forget. What EACOP does to how people feel is what is going to last for a generation. And we want to be part of it with you to make sure that your program is successful for the country, Uganda, for the company, for the kingdom, for the ordinary person in the village. Look at water, for example. We've got an extensive program for provision of water through sinking boreholes in the kingdom. We do. If we did a collaboration, not a one-off, when you go and sink a borehole here, but if you do it with the kingdom, your legacy is going to be permanent. Yes, it's going to be permanent. If you do something with economic empowerment, through a monetary program initiative, it's going to be permanent. And it's good for humanity. Some of the things we do, the Kabaka tells us, we don't carry them out so that at the end of the year, people say about the achievements of that year. But how, in generations to come, people say, during that time, this was done. The Kabaka tells us that point all the time. And we've got extensive youth programs. How can we work with you? You've trained the youth, which is very good. What kind of arrangement can we have such that somebody is trained in an area and he says the kingdom was working with EACOP, and because of that, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I'm a mechanic, those kind of things. And he knows these things better than me, because in the corporate world, especially these days, it works a lot. But we want to appreciate your efforts, especially in areas of ancillary advantages like technology transfer. The world today is ruled by technology. And I think in the next decade or so, ICT is going to be the single most important area for everyone. Now, if technology transfer can be felt while you operate in Uganda, it will be very good for the country. Because ICT is going to be more important than oil itself in a very short time. You know? And if technological advancements, which, for example, the people in France experience, if portions of those can be transferred here, I think it will be a very, very big plus for the country. But also jobs. You know, the last census, which was held in 2024, I think, they said what is the percentage of the unemployed youth? Huge. I think it's about 50%. And that's a big, big number. Now, we welcome and appreciate the jobs that you offer to Ugandans. And when we went to the Albertine region, we realized that's not equal, but you work with them. We noticed Ugandans at very high levels, engineers, and all these people. I didn't expect that. I thought I was going to see white faces everywhere. But they were Ugandans, many of them female, actually. That pleased us very much. Female engineers, young. That ought to continue. At the pump stations, I'm sure there are going to be many jobs. And if Ugandans can get the expertise to do this, I think we shall love you for it. Because jobs, you know, young people want jobs. And if they're not just menial jobs, we want to see Ugandans who are not merely drivers. We also need drivers and sweepers and guards and all these fellows. But we want engineers and all these people, experts in the environment and all these things, Ugandans. Those are legacy initiatives, I think, and we appreciate that very much. Once again, we welcome you to the Kingdom seat. I hope this is not a one-off visit. I hope we are going to be interacting a lot more. Please extend my greetings to Honorable Nankabirwa. And she, like Irunji there.
Get an inbox.
So I hope to see you again.